Have you ever wanted to build an optimal lineup like the pros do? I'm going to help you with that today. Let's go. Optimal lineups. What do you use them for? How do you use them? How do you make them? Well, here's the deal. There are two ways to make them. Number one, you can make one for cash games, and then you can, number two, make one for tournaments. They're inherently both going to be built differently. In cash games, you don't need a lot of correlation. In fact, you kind of want the opposite. In tournaments, all the correlation, baby. That is the best way to construct it based on the historical evidence that you can also find right here in FantasyCruncher.com inside Lineup Rewind and Lineup Study. Now, why am I using Fantasy Cruncher? Because every single one of our members, we have 1,500 people in Discord in our first 6 months. I think we're doing all right. And every single one of them get $20 to use at FantasyCruncher.com every month. Every single member, teamriseorfall.com, gets $20 as a gift to use on Fantasy Cruncher every month. That's $240 per year on FC. So if you've ever wanted to try FC or try out teamriseorfall.com, lucky for you, you can use promo code STREAM above my head. It's $5 off your first month, and you can try it out. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to show you first, and then we're going to talk about it. An optimal lineup is going to be the highest projected lineup that you can build based on your projections and whatever parameters you've used for Fantasy Cruncher. So if I were to build out an optimal lineup with no settings whatsoever, not going to be the greatest lineup for tournaments. You're going to need 120, 130 points to score on your lineup to cash out in most tournament days, and a 99.35 on September 22nd of 2020 just did not cash in tournaments. And I'll show you how. Let's look at a tournament right here in FC Rewind so that we can just have something. The 121, this is one I entered often last year. You can see right here, you needed a 123 to cash out. A 123 was the cash line, all right? And in fact, the single entry double is 116. So by just crunching, we can see we don't have any correlation. In fact, I don't see two players. I see Ronald Acuna and Freddie Freeman, two players in the same team, in the same lineup, in your same DFS lineup. This is not how you win tournaments, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go up to advanced options. Here's the general page. I'm going to go right over to Teamstacks first and foremost. I want to build out how I view the best way to build. It doesn't mean you have to do it this way. I'm going to build a 5-player large side stack and a 2-player small side stack. And if I want just the optimal projected 5-2 stack, this is all I would do. Now I'm going to show you many different ways that you can build today. So if I prefer the 5-2, which I did on the 22nd, whatever. Here we go. I'm going to recrunch. Now check that out. Because I have asked for a 5-person stack, FC grabbed the highest projected 5-person stack within the constructs of the lineup being built and whatever the highest projected lineup total could be. So the highest projected 5-2 stack is a 97.72. There's not a higher one that can be built. And if you entered this on that day, this lineup scored a 136. And again, look, a 136 cashes out. 121 entry fee, you cash 275. Depending on what you entered this into, you would have made bank. Entered it in the $400 single entry, bang, $500 cash out. All right, so that is how I built my 5-2 optimal. Now, it doesn't mean this is how I have to run it. You don't have to go raw optimal 5-2 stack for your tournaments. I think there's a lot of things that you should take control of. You can go in here to advanced options, and I think you could go over here and change the salary and say maybe you want, $49,800 in every single lineup. All right, so that way you don't have a lineup being built at $49,300. You could go down to the randomness factor and jack up the randomness if you want. At the team stacks, you can identify, well, I don't want all of these teams to be included in my 5-player stack. So maybe in my 5-player, I go over to the sort teams and I sort by max projected stack. I see Houston's right here, but maybe I don't want Houston today. So I uncheck them, which is going to force FC to use a different 5-player stack. You can do these things. You could go over to your pitching pool and maybe I go to my pitchers this day. Let's see who I have here. And these two are locked in there. How funny. So that was my projected. Wow, that was 6 months ago they did this. All right, let me calculate without those two players locked in. Let's just see what happens. Did I do well? Hey, look at that. It gave me Framber Valdez and Seth Lugo, and it still cashed out. So for whatever reason on that day, the teamriseorfall.com projections, because they're amazing, ended up being cashed, was very, very smooth for creating 5 2 stacked optimal lineups, all right? Now, you could choose your pitchers, and I think that's also a fine way to do this. If you want to pick and choose who your pitchers are going to be that day, by all means. So maybe you're looking at this and you're like, wow, Seth Lugo, kind of chalky today. Let's see, is there a price point pivot? Maybe give me Jose Quintana, going to be lower owned, similar projection, whatever. Let's lock him in. Let's lock Framber in, and let's just calculate. Did this work? Yes, it did. Quintana had a crummy day, 3.3 actual points. Got ruined. But you know what? The optimal lineup based around Quintana and Valdez in there, smashed. You still did okay. Maybe you're not on Framber and you plug in Blake Snell and you just want Blake Snell and you're just going to go from there. Let's see how that did. Ooh, got rocked. All right, 19 points there. What if you had chosen, I want Framber and, let's get 2 high-priced salaries. Framber and Zach Davies. There you go. It's probably going to struggle to jam in a second quality stack. And look at the second person stack, the 2-man. They're both Baltimore. They're very cheap, $3,400, $2,600, and your one-off is only $3,200. Now, however you choose on building your lineup, you just do it through your options and the player pool itself, which means if you're like, you know what, Mitch, I don't think that a 5-person and a 2-person stack, I don't think a 5-2 is the best way to build today. Okay, no problem. Maybe you think it's a 4-3. Stack size, 3 players. First one's 4 players. All right. And you want to add 10% randomness. I have no clue what's going to happen here. Let's do it live. I'm going to make sure I use $49,800 of my salary. And I know for sure Framber Valdez is my pitcher. Let's just see what happens. Oh, my gosh. Well, this organically just happened, but that is pretty cool. 181. Wow. So Valdez, it plugged in Lugo because I didn't have a 5-man stack. I had salary to save, most likely, because it's not plugging in 5 high-priced Houston Astros. It gave me Atlanta, which went absolutely nuclear. Small side stack with Arizona have ended up with 4 players of them, 4-4. Because these are minimums. You're saying you want a minimum of 4, a minimum of 3. So here's the deal. I mean, let me try not to win money. I kind of wanted to show not winning money. I unchecked Framber Valdez here. Let's click calculate. There we go. So, wow, 4-3 stack with Framber and them in there. Anyways, we have 4 Houston now. Went back to Houston, plugged in 3 Orioles, and 1 off with Will Castro from Detroit, batting it near the top of the order at $3,200. That one did not win. Okay, but that was pretty cool seeing $4,700. And that's the fun of MLB DFS. You're going to have times when literally I'm using the same projections you are on that slate. One of us can have a crummy day. The other one can have a life-changing day. $5,000 can be life-changing for somebody. What if they enter that into something else? They won $50,000, right? I mean, we can use the same projections. And the only thing different, I ran a 5-2 stack. I won $250. You ran a 4-3 stack. Same everything. And you won $4,700. It is the margin of error in MLB DFS is razor thin. So I want everybody to go into the season armed to the teeth with knowledge on how to do things for whatever they deem appropriate for that unique slate. Tune back in to tomorrow's video for the MME version of building optimal lineups. If you want to build cash lineups, by the way, it would just do these in some other way of not having large stacks. Maybe 2-player. You want a 2-player stack. Maybe you just want a whole bunch of one-offs. Put this max at 1 or 2. There are many different ways to build those. We'll talk about those on streams. So hit the like button. Hit that sub button. Definitely hit the notification button. 2 streams daily, 12:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you check them out. teamriseorfall.com. Use promo code STREAM for $5 off. And then join up with your $20 discount over at FC and hopefully start the winning. I'll see you on the inside, my friends. Together we rise.